The Buddha sat beneath a great banyan tree, his serene presence drawing disciples close to hear his teachings. His eyes reflected endless patience, mirroring the vast sky above. The day was calm, the air carrying the scent of blooming jasmine. In the realm of healing, he began. Listening is an art few truly master. His serene face exuded wisdom, calm, and immeasurable depth of understanding. After a moment of silence, he addressed the assembly of disciples. Beloved ones, the Buddha began, his voice a harmonious blend of compassion and clarity. The mind is like a restless monkey. It leaps from branch to branch, thought to thought, never pausing, never still. His gaze fell upon Ananda, a young disciple whose forehead bore the lines of inner turmoil. He prescribed a common remedy and sent the farmer on his way without full attention. The farmer returned days later, unchanged, his spirit more burdened than before. Sudatta felt a pang of guilt but dismissed it. Yet, as the days passed, he noticed a growing disquiet in his heart, an unease that words could not silence. One evening, while gazing at the evening sun, Sudatta resolved to seek deeper understanding. He journeyed to a distant forest to meet a revered monk known for his insight into human suffering. His voice carried the weight of 1,000 truths, each syllable a seed of enlightenment. Such a man, in his pursuit, neglects the joy of simple sustenance, the beauty of a contented heart. Ananda listened intently, his shoulders slowly relaxing under the weight of the Buddha's words. The other disciples watched in silent reverence. To still the mind, the Buddha said, one must practice mindfulness. It is the path to inner tranquility. The bamboo bends with the wind, yet remains rooted, distinguished by observing, without resistance or judgment. So must your thoughts find their anchor. The disciples shifted slightly, their focused silence indicating their deep engagement. The Buddha instructed them to assume a seated posture. Straighten your spine, the Buddha guided, like the trunk of a sal tree. Let your body relax, yet be firm in awareness. Now, he said, focus your attention on your breath. Observe the inhale and exhale, as it moves through you. The disciples closed their eyes, following his teachings with devotion and sincerity. Birds continued their songs, a natural symphony to their practice. Thoughts will arise, the Buddha acknowledged, his voice soothing. Listen not to respond but to understand. Presence is a gift that needs no adornment. A cool breeze drifted through the grove, carrying the faint scent of jasmine flowers in bloom. The moment felt sacred. As moments passed, Ananda began to feel his mind's chaos subside. An unfamiliar calm washed over him like a steady wave. See the breath, the Buddha continued, as the thread that connects your mind and body to the present moment. His words resonated, each syllable a gentle push toward understanding and self-mastery. The lesson of Sudatta lingered in the air, a reminder that true healing begins with listening. The Buddha rose slowly, his every movement filled with grace and purpose. The monks pictured the image in their minds, the clarity of the water disrupted by the ink's presence. Even one unskillful thought or action, the Buddha explained, can ripple through the mind, coloring its essence. He rose gracefully from his seat, a beacon of calm amidst the vibrant life of the forest. The disciples opened their eyes. Each interaction reminded the disciples of the interconnectedness of all beings, the unseen threads binding one life to another. The Buddha paused near a small hut where a woman was feeding her child. Her face, though weathered, bore a quiet contentment. Do you see? The Buddha asked his disciples. Her care for her child is an act of listening. She hears not with her ears alone but with her whole being. Each of you holds the power of this stillness. It is not found in the distant lands nor the heights of mountains, he said. It resides in the heart of presence. The disciples nodded, absorbing the profound wisdom like parched land drinking the first rains of the season. Let the restless monkey find its rest, the Buddha concluded. And in stillness, you will discover the moon within. Their assembly dispersed quietly, each carrying the lessons learned beneath the ancient sal tree. The forest seemed to hold its breath. Even nature itself appeared touched by the words, as if every leaf, bird, and breeze bore witness to an eternal truth. The Buddha moved through the grove, his steps soft yet purposeful, embodying the tranquility he had imparted. Birds resumed their melodies. The disciples watched as their teacher disappeared into the forest, the embodiment of mindfulness and peace within their hearts. Another day began in the vibrant streets of Rajagaya, filled with merchants, beggars, and noblemen navigating their daily pursuits. Disciples walked silently through the crowded alleys, observing the bustling activities that marked human existence. The air carried scents of spices and oils, mingling with the sounds of hawkers calling out for buyers. Every corner revealed lives entangled in desires. The disciples returned to their humble dwelling, their minds heavy with reflections of human cravings. The Buddha sat in quiet meditation under the shade of a neem tree, his presence radiating serene calm and unwavering clarity. To love is to heal. This is the essence of compassion. Carry it with you, not only in your healing but in all your interactions. For in each act of listening, you touch the infinite. The Buddha opened his eyes slowly, his gaze falling upon Mahakasyapa, offering both understanding and compassion. He raised his hand, gesturing to a nearby oil lamp. Mahakasyapa, the Buddha began, his voice soothing yet firm. Craving is like this flame, fed continuously by the oil poured into it. He held the lamp aloft, its flame flickering in the gentle breeze. The flame grows with each addition, insatiable and devouring. But, the Buddha continued, if you cease to add oil, the flame cannot sustain itself. It dies, leaving behind peace. His words settled into the hearts of the disciples, like rain soaking into dry soil, nourishing their weary minds. Another day, the Buddha sat under the gentle shade of a peepal tree. His disciples gathered in attentive silence. The morning air was crisp, the rustling leaves harmonizing with the distant songs of birds. His gaze swept across the assembly, serene and unshaken. In the life of a healer, he began, encounters with suffering are inevitable, as waves meeting the shore. To walk this path, one must embrace equanimity, the balance of the spirit. He paused, allowing his words to settle like morning dew. Let me share the story of Amara, a devoted midwife who learned this truth through her trials. Amara was celebrated for her dedication, helping mothers bring life into the world with care and precision. One fateful evening, during a storm, a young mother under her care faced severe complications. Despite Amara's relentless efforts, the mother's life slipped away, leaving a newborn cradled in grief. Amara's heart was pierced with guilt, her mind echoing with haunting whispers of failure. She withdrew, her once steadfast spirit now a shadow of its former self. Days turned to weeks, and the weight of her sorrow grew, bending her resolve like a branch burdened by snow. Word of Amara's plight reached a wandering monk, who came to her village, seeking to offer guidance. Amara, the monk said gently, your pain stems from a noble heart, but misplaced attachment binds your spirit. Seek the Buddha, his wisdom will light your path. Amara journeyed to the Buddha, her steps hesitant, her spirit heavy. The disciples made space as she approached, her trembling voice breaking the stillness. Master, she said, bowing deeply, I failed in my duty. How can I continue this path with such a burden? The Buddha listened, his eyes reflecting infinite compassion. Amara, he said, his voice steady as a mountain stream. Failure and success are but illusions of the mind. The nature of life encompasses birth and death, joy and sorrow. A healer's path is not to conquer these but to remain steady amidst them. His words resonated deeply. Yet Amara's tears continued to flow, her heart still anchored in grief. "Master," she whispered, "how can I bear the weight of lives lost under my care?" The Buddha extended his hand, motioning toward the horizon where the sun began to rise. "Amara, tell me, does the sun weep for the darkness it cannot chase away? It fulfills its purpose, bringing light to each new day, undeterred by the night. In the same way, a healer must act with intention but release attachment to outcomes." Amara's brow furrowed as she pondered his words, her mind wrestling with their profound simplicity. The Buddha continued, "When a bird builds its nest, it does so with care. Though winds may dismantle its work, the bird rebuilds, understanding that clinging to what is lost would hinder its purpose." His analogy settled over Amara like a gentle rain, softening the hardened soil of her sorrow. "Equanimity," he said, "is the anchor of the healer's soul. It is the ability to serve without being consumed by outcomes." A young disciple, seated nearby, raised his hand, seeking clarity. "Master," he asked, "how can one act with compassion but remain unattached?" The Buddha turned to the disciple, his gaze unwavering. "Compassion is the fire that warms, unattached to what it burns. To cultivate equanimity, one must meditate upon impermanence. Understand that all arises and passes away, like clouds in a shifting sky." Amara listened, her breathing steadying as her heart absorbed the Buddha's teachings. "Master," she asked, her voice steadier now, "how shall I begin to rebuild my path?" The Buddha pointed to a nearby tree, its branches heavy with ripe fruit. "Amara, the tree offers its fruit without expectation of gratitude or lament for those that fall unpicked. Begin with small acts of service, unburdened by the need for recognition or success." Amara bowed deeply, her spirit lighter yet contemplative, her path beginning to reform like mist dissipating in sunlight. The disciples exchanged glances, each finding reflections of their own journeys within Amara's story. The Buddha addressed the assembly once more. "Equanimity is not detachment from life but an embrace of its entirety. It is the calm center within the storm. Healers, and all who serve, must cultivate this virtue, for it is their compass amidst the chaos of existence." The disciples nodded, their understanding deepened, their hearts infused with the wisdom of their teacher. The Buddha stood, his presence radiating unshakable tranquility. "Come," he said, "let us walk among the village." The lessons of equanimity are found in every step, every moment. They followed him, their footsteps harmonizing with the rhythm of life around them. In the village, they encountered a farmer repairing a shattered pot, his hands steady despite the task's difficulty. "Do you see?" the Buddha asked, gesturing toward the farmer. "He works with care, yet he does not despair over the pot's breaking. This is equanimity in action." Further along, they observed a child releasing a butterfly from a jar, her face illuminated with joy. "Here too is equanimity," the Buddha said. "The child delights in the butterfly's freedom, not its captivity." The disciples began to see the threads of the teaching woven into the fabric of daily life, their awareness expanding with each step. Amara walked among them, her heart no longer weighed down but buoyed by newfound clarity. She resolved to return to her practice, not as the bearer of outcomes but as a vessel of compassion and steadiness. As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, the Buddha gathered his disciples one final time that day. His voice carried the serenity of the evening, his words a gentle balm. "Equanimity is the healer's refuge, the balance that allows one to give without depletion. Cultivate it, and you shall walk this path with grace and resilience." The disciples bowed deeply, their spirits enriched, their minds alight with understanding. The lessons of Amara and the teachings of equanimity were now etched in their souls, guiding them as they walked the path of life. The Buddha rose, His presence as serene as the night itself. Let us rest now, he said, for tomorrow brings new teachings and new opportunities to practice. The journey of wisdom is unending, and each step reveals the infinite. Another day. The Buddha sat beneath a full moon, its light casting a gentle glow upon the gathered disciples. The forest was alive with subtle sounds, each a reminder of the interwoven tapestry of existence. The disciples' faces reflected curiosity and calm anticipation. Today, the Buddha began. We turn our minds to the truth of interconnectedness, the thread that binds all beings in unity. Healing, as with life, is not solitary. Let me share the story of Dharini, a healer whose journey revealed this eternal truth. Dharini was a herbalist of exceptional skill, her remedies sought by those from near and far. She worked tirelessly, believing her knowledge and efforts alone were sufficient to cure all who sought her aid. Yet one fateful season, a relentless drought struck the land, withering the plants she relied on for her medicines. Despair gripped her heart as she witnessed her patients' suffering escalate without her remedies to comfort them. Unable to bear the helplessness, Dharini sought the wisdom of a forest monk, known for his insight into life's profound truths. "Revered monk," she said, her voice trembling, "I am lost. My skills cannot overcome this drought, and my patients suffer. What should I do?" The monk regarded her with gentle compassion. "Dharini," he replied, "no healer, however skilled, acts alone. You must seek the Buddha, for his words will illuminate the path you cannot yet see." Thus, Dharini journeyed to the Buddha, her heart heavy yet yearning for clarity. Bowing deeply before him, she spoke of her plight. "Master," she said, "I believed my hands could mend all wounds, but now I see their limits. How can I continue?" The Buddha listened intently, his presence exuding infinite patience. "Dharini," he began, "you are like a single thread, strong in its purpose but incomplete without the weave of the fabric. The drought has shown you a truth you could not see before. Healing is not the work of one but of many, united in purpose." His words lingered in the air like the scent of blossoms carried on a gentle breeze. Dharini's brow furrowed as she tried to grasp his meaning. "Master," she asked, "how can I, one person, embrace such interconnectedness in my work?" The Buddha turned his gaze to the forest, gesturing toward the towering trees. "Look to the trees," he said. "Their roots intertwine beneath the earth, unseen but essential, sharing water and nutrients to sustain each other. Without this connection, no single tree could endure. So too must healers recognize their reliance on and contribution to the greater whole." The disciples nodded, their understanding deepened by the simplicity of nature's example. Dharini's heart stirred, the weight of her despair beginning to lift. "Master," she said, "how can I begin to nurture this interconnection in my practice?" The Buddha smiled, his voice steady yet kind. "Begin by acknowledging the threads already present," he said. "The farmers who grow the herbs, the families who support you, the earth and rain that nurture life. All are part of the healing you provide. Embrace their contributions, and seek to weave new threads where there are none." Dharini returned to her village with the Buddha's teachings echoing in her mind. She sought out farmers, working alongside them to cultivate resilient crops. Even amidst the drought, she collaborated with elders, drawing from their wisdom to find alternative remedies and approaches. She trained apprentices, sharing her knowledge so that it might extend beyond her own hands. Over time, Dharini's practice transformed. The village became a web of mutual support, each thread strengthening the others. Patients healed not only through remedies but through the collective care of the community. Dharini's despair gave way to a profound sense of purpose. Rooted in the interconnectedness of all who shared in the work of healing, the Buddha addressed his disciples once more. Dharini's journey teaches us that healing is a tapestry woven by many hands, each contributing its unique thread. Interconnectedness is the foundation of life itself. And when we honor this truth, we amplify our ability to serve and to heal. The disciples sat in reflective silence, the weight of the Buddha's words settling into their hearts. A young disciple, his voice hesitant but earnest, asked, "Master, how can we balance our individual efforts with reliance on others?" The Buddha regarded him with a gentle gaze. "Balance lies in humility and gratitude," he said. "Recognize your limitations and welcome the strengths of others. Contribute fully, but without the illusion of self-sufficiency. When you honor the contributions of all, you elevate the whole." The forest seemed to echo his wisdom. The rustling leaves a chorus of affirmation. Another disciple spoke, her voice filled with curiosity. "Master, what if the threads of connection are broken or absent? How do we begin to weave anew?" The Buddha turned his eyes to the moonlit sky, where stars glittered in interconnected constellations. "Where there is absence, create presence," he said. "Extend your hand, offer your voice, and nurture trust." Interconnectedness thrives where compassion and effort meet. The disciples' understanding deepened with each word, their hearts and minds aligning with the profound truth of the teaching. The Buddha stood, his movements deliberate and serene. "Come," he said, "let us walk." For the lessons of interconnectedness are visible in every corner of life. They rose, following him through the forest and into the village. There, they witnessed acts of interconnection everywhere: a blacksmith repairing a farmer's plow, a child sharing her food with a stray dog, neighbors gathering to rebuild a crumbled wall. Each interaction was a thread, woven into the fabric of the community. The Buddha paused by a well, where a woman was drawing water to share with her neighbors. "Do you see?" he asked his disciples. "Her actions sustain not only herself but all who draw from this well." This is interconnectedness in action. The disciples nodded, their understanding enriched by the tangible examples before them. Dharini, among them, felt her spirit swell with gratitude, her path illuminated by the Buddha's wisdom and the support of her community. As the night deepened, the Buddha gathered his disciples one final time under the vast expanse of the star-filled sky. His voice was steady, carrying the depth of universal truth. Interconnectedness is the essence of life and healing. In nurturing one thread, you strengthen the entire weave. Embrace this truth, and you will walk the path of service with wisdom and purpose. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts and minds forever marked by the teachings of interconnectedness. The Buddha's words resonated within them, a guiding light for their journeys as healers, as seekers, and as human beings. The Buddha rose, his presence as serene and infinite as the night itself. "Let us rest now," he said, "for the dawn brings new teachings and new opportunities to weave the threads of life." The journey continues, and with each step, we honor the infinite connections that sustain us all. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.